Hi guys, this is Breaker, and I'm back with an excellent replay between two Grandmasters level players. Of course, let me go ahead and give them their well-deserved introductions. In the upper left-hand corner, spawning is our yellow Terran. I give you EmpireBratOK, and he did just give out his good luck, have fun, GG it is. In the lower right-hand corner, spawning is our red Zerg, DIMAGA. Okay, now the map we are on right now is Ohana LE. That tells me that this could potentially just be a Wings of Liberty replay. Oopsie, didn't want to do that. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and see just what exactly are we looking at. We're going to have to wait and find out just a minute, I think. But let's see just what a larva can make. No, it is Viper, or excuse me, there are Vipers as well as Swarm hosts here, so this actually is not Wings of Liberty, it's Heart of the Swarm. I'm just a little unaccustomed to seeing what we have here. But of course, then again, we also have the neutral supply depots at the bottom of each map. I actually didn't check the map name as it was loading. Of course, this is not just Ohana Ladder Edition, this is rather some professional league or another. Could be ESC, it could be MLG, it could be WCS version. But here we go. EmpireBratOK, just finishing up the supply depots. Money has more than surpassed what he needs to throw down a barracks, and that is exactly what he's going to do. And of course we have the overlords with the new skin floating around and about on the map. By the way, guys, I want to apologize for the background white noise. By the way, we do have gas going down for now. I'm leaning towards saying that we're going to see a Reaper come out relatively soon, but not in a rushing kind of fashion. This will, of course, be to maybe kill a few drones, as well as get some map control. Moreover, map control keeps Zerg from moving out, keeps Zerg from scouting. Just what we're going to have from EmpireBratOK and DIMAGA. I don't know if he belongs to Empire anymore, or if he ever was a member to begin with, to be quite honest, but I gotta say, you know, he's from the Slavic language speaking region, that would be the Ukraine. I would say he's the best Zerg in the Ukraine right now, hands down, but the best player in my heart overall from the Ukraine would have to be Empire Kos. And we see DIMAGA following that up with a gas, so he won't be too long contained by this Reaper that's in production. So I'm glad to see that. He's going to be contained for a few minutes, but I'm thinking around, let me see here. When does he start harvesting gas? I want to say until at about the 6-minute mark he'll be ready to go and move out and actually take control of the map. The only question is, you know, just what are we going to have from EmpireBratOK that's going to really control the map, and like what is he gonna follow up the Reaper with? We do have one Marine in production, and we do see that another command center is going down at the natural. And here it is, the Reaper getting into the main. It's gonna get 8 drone kills. We just have 2 lings out right now. It's focusing down this poor drone. Oh, and just at the last second it gets turned into an extractor. Reaper's just kind of speeding around there, trying to see if that extractor is going to get cancelled and if he's got a chance to hop on that drone. Looks like not, but as long as the Reaper is off creep, then it can kite those Zergs all day. Excuse me, those lings all day. First time playing StarCraft, actually first time launching StarCraft in a while now. Feels like forever. And here we go, the Queen's out. It's kind of a tankier unit versus Reapers, of course. But the beautiful thing about Reapers is that if you use 2 or more of them, it actually becomes kind of viable to take down a Queen. And we have 2 factories in production right now, so this kind of screams to me that EmpireBrat is either going to go with a heavy Hellion opening, or he's going to go with a mech transition into the mid to late game. Reaper is still there, making sure that no lings move out, but we also have Metabolic Boost about halfway down, and once Metabolic Boost is done, that Reaper basically has a very limited lifespan, and this is an interesting choice from DIMAGA. He's actually going for an Evolution Chamber relatively soon. I'm thinking we're going to see Carapace go down, considering he hasn't started melee attacks. Yes, it is indeed Carapace, and 2 Queens come out and kind of chase away that Reaper. Okay, and it looks like DIMAGA is opted to go with the new Zergling skins. Blue Flames in research right now, so we're going to see, you know, EmpireBratOK, he's going to have a really strong opener here. He's going to be able to really take control of the map with this, and DIMAGA, if he really wants to get any map control against his opponent. He's going to have to crank out roaches and use them excruciatingly well. These Lings trying to chase this Reaper around. Let's see if they get it. I mean, it's almost like seeing slow Lings chasing a probe or an SCV or a worker of any sort of a drone. But luckily the Hellions come in and clean that up in a timely fashion, and the four Hellions and the Reaper might get a chance at taking down the third from DIMAGA, and that is a shockingly early third. We have Infernal Pre-Igniter about 40 seconds from finishing up, excuse me. And we don't see any tech path from EmpireBratOK just yet. Not quite in the macro phase yet. He is focusing on cranking out SCVs. It's just that this orbital command right here is not making any. A Ling did get in and saw that there were 4 Hellions here. And if he can open his eyes and see that there are 4 Hellions here, you know, this has got to be screaming to him, okay, this guy really wants to kill me very quickly. Or he wants to kill a lot of my workers really quickly. Here we go. The Hellions are moving out on creep, and they're going to target down this Queen. Are they going to get it? I don't see the Lings coming in to reinforce. And DIMAGA knows that his opponent has blue flames. Here we go. One Ling kind of gets pulled there. Another couple of Lings get pulled. We have a Spine Crawler going down, but in terms of reinforcements, we just have Lings in production. The Roach Warren's almost finished. Beautiful wall off by these Hellions, but they're just getting non-stop Ling kills almost. Queen coming back and just sniping units left and right. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see DIMAGA lose just a few drones here. Is he? Yes, he does pull a few off the line to deal with them. To kind of kite them, or not kite them, but actually get some damage done. And these 5 Hellions in the main are probably going to do a lot of damage. Ouch. You know, they're just ignoring the Lings and targeting down the drones. And that was shut down after 8 worker kills. Checking the worker count now, we actually see that DIMAGA is behind by about 4 workers, not including mules. And this one Reaper here is kind of just looking at the third. He knows that it's there. But he's not going to bother trying to make any damage happen for a while. See what kind of upgrades we have following this up. You know, the Roaches, I think, are just going to be there for, you know, dealing with Hellions. They are the bulkier alternative. This one Ling is going to come over here and see whether or not EmpireBratOK has taken a third. And his transition is decisively mech right now. We do have tanks in production. These Hellions are going to see if they can come over here and get some economic damage done to DIMAGA, but of course the Lings kind of thwart that. We do have a Spire in production. And I don't think I've heard a scan yet to go down this game to determine whether or not DIMAGA has actually taken this tech route. We also have Hellbats in production, 2 at a time. And I just want to highlight that with Mutalisks going that route, there is a slight window of opportunity for any Zerg to really do some damage, especially right now with the considerable lack of anti-air there is in the main. We can all see it. It'll probably come later on in the form of Thors. But for now, both players just immediately concerned with getting their economies up. We do see that DIMAGA is going for +1 air attacks, but he's not going for any muted production just yet. He's following this up with a Spire, so, or excuse me, an Infestation Pit, so I'm pretty sure we're going to see a Hive go down relatively soon. If not, maybe just straight into Pathogen Glands and then cranking out some Infestors. Here we go, Hive Tech in production right now, no Pathogen Glands just yet for DIMAGA. And he's using Roaches to kind of reassert his control of the creep-covered section of the map. Command Center going down right here in a forward position. There was an Overlord here previously spreading creep, and that's, you know, a significant blow to Empire Brat's income right now. If you can just see here, compare where both players are at. I want to say that right now, DIMAGA's third is relatively exposed, and there is a good number of Hellions here, just, you know, checking, seeing if there's a fourth. And it looks like these guys are going to try and come in and do some economic damage, but DIMAGA has caught onto it. He's trying not to line up his Lings. That is some brilliantly cost-effective use of Lings. Kind of like the way you'd see Banelings used. Ooh, no, some drones lining up. And we actually had, I think, 3 more worker kills there by EmpireBratOK. No, just 2 more. Bringing the total number of workers killed throughout the game to 8 for BratOK. And now we see he is complementing his army with Thor production. He currently has none out on the map. And we now see +2 melee attacks, kind of fishing up at the same time as +1 flyer attacks, as well as 10 mutas on the way. If we see these mutas go directly into the third of EmpireBratOK, then we're looking at, I don't know, we're going to look at quite a few worker kills, maybe a few tank kills, but he has to get there ASAP. The Thors are in production in the main, and that is the only flaw that we see with EmpireBratOK's play right now. Infrastructure is not evenly spread out, but at the same time, I'm not sure for Terran whether or not this is possible. Behind this, we do see that DIMAGA is taking the Pocket 4th as his location of choice to Expo, and these mutas are flying straight into a pack of Thors. Yes, 3 of them. There are no missile turrets above the mineral line, however. This is going to get DIMAGA a few worker kills, just a few. And we see that the mutas are not flying out without taking any damage. You know, I would say that the mutas right now, they're in relatively good shape. You know, 4 kills, and sure, they took a lot of damage, but at the same time, you know, I mean, worker kills are worker kills, and when you're trying to return damage to your opponent that he's done to you, that's pretty okay. Considering now we see that he has 75 workers, the only big problem is right now keeping the mule count low. If we can see DIMAGA get in there and really snipe some mules, that would be very, very worthwhile for him to do. 5th hatch is about to finish up at the same time as the 4th. Behind this, we see that DIMAGA is prioritizing gas. That means, yes, I was going to say, I thought we were going to see some Broodlords in production, but at the same time, we also have an Ultralisk Cavern going down. You know, we can see that with this, DIMAGA is ready to tech switch as soon as he's done with something, and I'm thinking that he's going to prioritize his production of Ultralisks. It's possible that he'll bring out both Ultralisks and Corruptors and Broodlords at the same time, but I would not say it's quite optimal. But here we go. EmpireBratOK moving out on creep. He's like, okay, great. I think I might have dawdled for just a little bit too long. And DIMAGA can see that he's headed in this direction to kill what he believes, or what EmpireBratOK believes is this 4th base, but he still has this one. The muta's coming up here and doing some economic damage. Just throwing themselves away and making their supply basically clear, if you will. And you know, DIMAGA's not concerned with these mutas at all. He's okay with losing them. It's just that in return, he wants to get a lot of worker kills. Checking the income right now, we see that DIMAGA is ahead by miles presently with that, you know, just pulling all those SCVs off the line or even getting them killed. Here we go. Banelings are going to run into all of these Hellbats, and now we see that EmpireBratOK is in a bit of trouble, but we really need to see some Ultralisks coming out. Speaking of, we see 2 in production right now, and with this, we're going to have to see EmpireBratOK kill all these workers, but he's not doing it. Right now, the income is the most important part. What we could see coming from DIMAGA, and he's kind of pulling them into the natural, he could put them on the 3rd and basically get no economic harm done to him whatsoever. Basically taking that Pocket 4th as his 3rd now. Meanwhile, everything from DIMAGA is basically regrouping in the middle of the map. He's trying to get some damage done to these tanks. He might get 1 or 2. Nope, not at all, actually. Okay, so now we see DIMAGA in a lot of trouble. If he can hold here, he'll be in good condition, relatively strong condition, but I don't see it happening. And he's, oh my god, and the positioning of these Ultras, beautiful blinding clouds, by the way, are actually, you know, it's actually kind of good. They're getting good splash damage on the Thors. These tanks in siege mode cannot hit him presently, so we're just going to see him kind of power his way through this with a handful of Ultralisks. Queen using Transfuse, but it's about all out. And Zerg's income is just insane right now, but at the same time, he's not getting his production out in time. Okay, Lings are going to come up, and the question is, will they be able to deal with this? We just saw quite a bit of infrastructure falling. And I gotta say, from EmpireBratOK, we got strong performance here. Like, he's basically sieging up these tanks in a position that Lings cannot immediately get to. But at the same time, we see the DIMAGA 4th base is going to be in a lot of trouble. He just pulls drones off of it immediately. Hellbat's not going to get too many kills on the workers, but of course, it's the fact that he's only got two mining bases right now that is working against him the most. Blinding Cloud again going down on these tanks, making them all but ineffective versus Lings, and now, oh my god, he has to rebuild his Ultralisk Cavern. that's not going to work out too good for DIMAGA. He's going to try and re-expo. I'm sure he's just floating so many minerals, and he doesn't have enough infrastructure to spend it all. He has so many workers that are now idle, and the income, oh my god. These tanks caught out of position. The Hellbats can't really help with where they were presently at the time, and now we have 6 Ultras in production, but I don't think they're going to be ready to go anytime soon. Like, you know, we just have EmpireBratOK now pushing his way into the natural. If we check the income right now, we see that EmpireBratOK is already ahead in income. He's got a planetary fortress at the 4th base, so any number of Ultralisks headed there right now will not be able to do any damage for a long time. Ling's trying to come in here and deal with these Hellbats, but they're so perfectly spread that some of them are overlapping in the amount of damage that they're doing, and these are a few hero units that are left. And finally, we see that DIMAGA is forced to basically use a bunch of idle workers. He's only got 1 hatch left that's actually up and running, and that's a hive as well as a macro hatch, and that's about it. Ultra's coming in here to finish off the Thors. Broodlord's never really coming into play, although he had the ability to make that tech for a while. And now we see DIMAGA is actually supply blocked, and he's forced to deal with this in the form of queens. Alright, now we just have a handful of Ultras left, a ton of Hellbats coming in, and some tanks, but we don't have enough Blinding Clouds in the world for really DIMAGA to hold against this. This is going to be the final engagement, guys. There's no other way to say it. DIMAGA tried his best, but now, you know, it's just coming right down to the grind with the very last Ultralisk coming out from behind the queens. Not really getting any unit kills, and there it is, the GG from DIMAGA. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. This has been Breaker. I'll see you guys next time.